A few days ago, I was watching a podcast, and the guest said something that stopped me in my tracks. He was talking about that strange moment when you look at your bank account and think, how am I still here? I worked all month, so why does it feel like nothing changed? And as he kept talking, I realized something. He was describing the exact same story I've heard from so many people. Different lives, different jobs, but the same financial frustration repeating over and over again. And this part really hit me. Most people struggle because of the automatic habits that drain their money without them noticing. It's the impulse buys that feel small, followed by the moments we avoid checking our balance because it stresses us out. It's the belief that I'll fix everything when I start earning more, and the day-to-day routines we never question. These patterns are the real reason so many people feel stuck. We aren't talking about a lack of effort or intelligence. In this video, I want to walk you through those patterns, because once you see them clearly, you can finally break them. And that's when everything begins to change. Let me show you a pattern almost everyone falls into without realizing it. You know that moment when something goes wrong, a bill you forgot about, the car breaks down, the rent goes up, and suddenly money becomes the only thing you can think about? One second you're fine, the next you're scrambling, stressed, searching for quick fixes. That's reaction mode, and most people live their entire financial life inside it. You don't plan ahead. You just wait for something to happen. You don't look at your spending until there's a problem. You don't think about savings until you need them. When you only pay attention to money during a crisis, your brain starts to link money with stress. And of course, you avoid thinking about it because of the stress. So you delay decisions and hope nothing bad shows up this month. But the bad stuff always comes back because life doesn't stop throwing surprises. Living in reaction mode keeps you stuck in the same loop. Crisis, panic, short-term fix, relief, and repeat. And the longer you stay in that loop, the harder it becomes to build anything stable. The moment you stop living in reaction mode, everything else starts falling into place. There's a moment we all know too well. The moment you buy something small, tell yourself it's nothing, and forget about it 5 minutes later. A coffee here, a snack there, a quick online order because it was on sale. Individually, they feel harmless, but together they drain your wallet without ever asking for permission. This happens because we blur the line between want and need. We tell ourselves we need a break, or a treat, or something to make the day feel better. So what we're really doing is responding to emotion, not logic. And the psychology behind it is that your brain loves tiny rewards. Every impulse purchase gives you a hit of comfort, control, or excitement. Just enough to feel good in the moment, but not enough to change anything long-term. When you look at the price, it doesn't seem like there's a problem, but the little spendings quickly become a pattern. When you treat every small desire like a need, you end up building a lifestyle that slowly eats your financial stability from the edges. One simple habit that could help you break this pattern would be to pause for 3 seconds and ask, do I want this because it helps me or because it feels good right now? That tiny moment of honesty can save you from dozens of automatic decisions that don't actually serve you. And once you learn to separate wants from needs, your spending starts working for you, not against you. There's a strange habit many people share. They'd rather guess their financial situation than actually look at it. You know that little hesitation before opening your banking app? Most people avoid checking their balance because it forces them to face reality. It ain't a dramatic reality, just the truth of how they've been spending, and truth can feel uncomfortable, especially when it challenges the story we tell ourselves about being careful enough. So we end up guessing instead of knowing, and we trust what we remember instead of checking the facts, and we make choices based on what we hope our balance looks like, not what's actually there. When you don't check the numbers, small habits go unnoticed and they shape your entire month. You can't fix what you refuse to look at, and without a clear picture, you're always one surprise away from feeling overwhelmed. The moment you stop guessing, you stop stressing and start making choices based on what's real. This is one of the most common traps people fall into, the idea that everything will magically get better once they make a little more. More money becomes the future version of you that will finally save, invest, and organize everything. But here's the truth. No one likes to say out loud, if you don't build good habits with a small income, you won't suddenly build them with a bigger one. Waiting for the perfect moment sounds reasonable, but it quietly freezes your progress. You keep postponing decisions, and as the months pass, nothing changes, except the frustration. The reason this mindset kills financial growth is simple. Money doesn't grow because of how much you earn. It grows because of what you do with what you earn. And you can't develop consistency if you never start. Starting small is the foundation. $5 saved regularly matters more than 50 saved once. An automatic transfer is better than a future promise to save seriously. Even tracking your spending for 1 week is a bigger step forward than waiting for the next raise. Small steps teach you discipline, and they build systems that continue working even when your income eventually increases. So instead of waiting for more money, start with what you have right now. There's a moment everyone looks forward to, the day the paycheck finally gets a little bigger. You expect relief, maybe even a sense of freedom. Instead of feeling lighter, most people somehow end up in the exact same place, just with nicer stuff. That's lifestyle creep. Every time income goes up, spending quietly follows. A better phone, a larger apartment, more nights out, and new subscriptions you barely notice. The problem is that lifestyle upgrades pile up faster than income ever does. So even when you earn more, you don't actually keep more. Your expenses stretch to match your new salary, and soon you're stuck in the same cycle, just at a higher price. Sometimes that is the reason why people with good jobs, stable incomes, even impressive salaries still end up stressed about money. Lifestyle creep traps you because it steals the very thing a raise is supposed to give you: breathing room. The moment you recognize it, you can flip the script. A raise can become a chance to save more, invest more, or build a cushion, not just spend without thinking. There's a moment in almost everyone's financial life when they realize they're relying on nothing but hope. And that's wrong. When you don't have a system, your money follows your impulses. You spend when you feel like it, and you save only if something's left, usually nothing. The solution to that is a budget, a simple plan, and a bit of automation. These protect you from your own good intentions that never turn into action. You cannot rely on motivation because it comes and goes, but systems and discipline are key. Automated transfers don't care if you're tired, stressed, or tempted. A weekly spending check doesn't wait for the right moment. Systems move your financial life forward even on the days when you wouldn't. And this connects directly to the next pattern, the short-term mindset. Most people choose tiny comforts today at the cost of real freedom tomorrow. It's because the future feels distant and the present feels urgent. But long-term thinking is a superpower. Small, consistent steps like saving a bit, investing early, and avoiding unnecessary upgrades grow quietly in the background. You don't feel the difference today, but in a year, in 5, in 10, it's life-changing. The people who build wealth simply stop relying on hope, build a simple system, and make choices their future selves will thank them for. When you shift from short-term comfort to long-term clarity, everything starts moving in the right direction, almost automatically. Start with this idea. Your money improves the moment you act with intention, not emotion. That's the mindset shift. You have to be aware. Once you stop drifting and start deciding, even tiny steps make a real difference. And here's a practical step you can start today. Pick one thing to automate. It can be $5 to savings, a tiny transfer to an emergency fund, or a weekly reminder to check your balance. It doesn't matter how small it is. The point is to create a habit that runs even when you're busy, tired, or not in the mood. Then add one daily action that keeps you anchored. Track a single expense. Open your banking app once. Review yesterday's spending in 30 seconds. These little check-ins train your brain to stay aware instead of slipping back into old patterns. You just need a few consistent moves that point you in the right direction, because once the habits are in place, progress becomes automatic. And that's when your financial life finally starts to shift for good. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future uploads.